service, because Syria now is run by no one. Actually, this is actually it's chaos here. We can see that rebels behind me are guarding the state TV building. Today they called all the ministers who didn't leave Syria to come to their office. The Abu Muhammad al-Jawlani, the leader of HTS, got the message from the Prime Minister of Syria. The Prime Minister to cooperate with any. So Abu Muhammad al-Jawlani, the leader of HTS, accepted his offer and said that he must run the government until a transitional government is established. The Prime Minister in power here because he is familiar with the situation. Actually, Syria, the economic situation in Syria is not stable. We have shortages, we have scarcity of resources, we have high rates of poverty, we have weak resources. I mean, we have services. The hospitals work in the minimum level. No fuel, no electricity. Everything is at the minimum level. So, bringing another prime minister to run a critical moment is risky for the HTS. So they chose prime ministers running Prime Minister al-Jalali in his position. So because he is familiar with the situation, familiar with the shortages. Now he called the cabinet meeting today, but not all the ministers are here. Some of them fled to out of Syria. Some of them fled to some cities. So not all the ministers here are in Damascus now. There are 7 of them only, but services are still not there because many of the employees have left Syria or they have left the city of Damascus. It is chaotic here. Now, where we are is that Syrians, what do Syrians want from this change, or what do they hope? Actually, after 14 years of conflict in Syria, or deadly conflict, we can say that Syrians are split between pro-government and pro-opposition. Of course, there are many details for this issue. Maybe you find some more extremist, but in general, the is one side and the pro-Syrian president is another side. Once the news of the approaching to Damascus by the rebels reached to the people here, they started to leave the city of Damascus into the coast and into out of Syria for the people who can live out of Syria. And at the same time, other people who were anti-government, anti-Assad, they started to come into Syria. So we have the division, or divided, whether they are with Islamic opposition or with the somehow described as dictator by so many people, Assad regime. So they are divided. What do you want now? Actually, the vast majority of Syrians that we meet every day, they care about their. I mean, they want now the urgent services to be back. They want bakeries to be on. They want food items which have gone scarce in the Syrian market available once more and with cheap price. The economic hardships that they have gone through to be mitigated a little bit. But on the broader image, what do they want? They want an end of this endless cycle of violence which has been around 14 years. I mean, Syrians now are sick of war, now are sick of sanctions. Syrians now are sick of the economic hardships. They see all the countries around them, stable countries. Everything is cheaper. Everything is services, and they hope future for themselves. So whether this is going to happen or not, the rebels who are in control now have a promise to stop to improve the situation, the overall situation in Syria, to be try to lower the prices of the items, enhance the power of the Syrian currency, which has been devaluated at the time before the time of Assad leaving Syria. So they have to also promise to maybe enhance the electricity situation in Syria. So actually too many promises for them. A lot of things are promised, and the Syrians are hopeful that all of those promises will be kept in the future, because they tired after 14 years of this endless and this war that they got nothing from. Now, what's happening politically? What will happen? The government which is in power right now is the government chosen by Assad before he left, and it is running things. But a transitional government is going. There are discussions about who is going to head this government, who is going to represent the previous Syrian regime in this transitional government, because there will be representation from the opposition, from government, from the hosted government. They must convene in one cabinet to decide the future of Syria. Once this government is established, then the current government will hand over everything to the transitional government. It will be led definitely by some. I mean, a famous opposition figure. They are speaking now about Riyad Hijab. He was someone anti-corruption in Syria, and he is someone maybe accepted by all warring parties to be the prime. This guy and his government will be for writing a new constitution for Syria, and then put that constitution for referendum. After that, he will call for the parliament election. The new parliament is going to be. The president will be also elected. Now, this whole process might take around 1 year and a half to 2 years, according to the agreement, speed of the agreement between the discussing parties. We know that Syria is not a united country. There are too many between the Syrians. Some of them are really extremist Islamic. Some of them are moderate opposition. Some of them are pro-government. The vast majority are neutral people. We have the Kurds issue. Army in Syria. We have the 10th which separate Syria from Iraq, and it is controlled by the United States Army. We have the Turkish with thousands of their soldiers inside the Syrian land. We used to have the Iranians who have left Syria now once and for all with the Assad regime leaving Syria. Also, we have the Russian bases in Syria. One is a sea base in Tartus, and one is what is the future? The new Syrian government will decide for the Russian bases in Syria. Actually, the Russians were called to come to Syria once Assad asked them to help him fight terrorism. Now, what's the terrorism? There is no terrorism in Syria by the description of Russia. What's the point of their bases to be here in Syria? This is actually all left to the new government, to the new maybe president, to the new parliament. What's the future for the Turkish Syria? Are they going to stay? What's the future for the autonomous region in northeast Syria, which is protected by the United States and it is dominated by Kurds? Turkey is against this autonomous region. What's the future for it? Are they going of the government? Are they going to be independent? Are they fight with the rebels? A lot of the questions are raised now because Syria is really a diverse country. Syria is a big country with too many conflicting points of view. So the future has a lot of questions, a lot of answers. Many maybe surprises, like the surprise of the whole thing of the Syrian regime within 11 days. It was a turning point, actually. What happened in Syria was a turning point in the history of Syria. After 54 years of ruling dynasty and controlling the power, which is absolute power in Syria for a long time, for maybe half a century. Now they are hosted within like a few days, more than 1 week. A very big turning point. But too many changes will bring too many surprises. So this Syria now is not stable at all. A lot of things. Now we can hear the gunshots behind me. They promised to end this celebratory shooting. They end everything which is a violation. But so far nothing. The rebels are controlling everything, and they are somehow out of control. They are doing something like government institutions and issues. One last point is about the Israeli army now is trying to yesterday on the that separates Syria in Golan and the Israelis some villages, and yesterday they carried out a sweeping Syrian army in all the maybe strategic weapons that might reach in the hand of the rebels, because the Israelis don't know the orientations of those rebels. What are they going to do? What are they going to those weapons to anti-Israel? Acted before waiting anyone. They destroyed everything. Yesterday, last overnight, they conducted too many strikes, and they destroyed all the defense, the defense, any defense system. And actually, there was no the army was dissolved. So I mean, a lot of expectations are being raised now, and a lot of questions need to be answered. But what we can end this with is that Syria now is a new country.